need to go that way. Okay. Let's see. Are we live? Okay, we're live. So, okay, let's try to fix this. Nothing is working out very well for me right now with the camera situation, but we'll fix that. Okay. So, Encaustic Art. Oh, I'm so excited. Let me just do this. And I will just share it out really quick, you guys, just in case anybody wants to pop in. And if not, that's fine. Let me just do this. I wasn't going to come. Yeah, I'm not going to share it out. I'm not going to bother with that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about it. And let's see, hopefully I can see what's happening here. Okay, so it's kind of a last minute thing because I've been planning on doing encaustic art for some time now. And I had purchased, well, first of all, I had done a lot of research. So let's see, where does that need to be? Probably there so you can see it. I have done a lot of research on encaustic art. There we go. And so I guess that right now we're just going to do a little chit chat about it, and then what we can do. So anyone that wants to replay it, because I'm going to come back on tonight. So, okay. So this is just going to be a quick one. So I sent a message. I'll just do this and I'll do doesn't ever want to cooperate. Okay, let me just do this. So anyone that wants to come in while I'm just talking about this really quick, we can just talk about it. It's not a sale. And I know there's other sales and stuff going on. I totally get that. But I just wanted to pop on for a quick minute. So let me just share it out real quick, just so it's fair for everybody that wanted to come in. If they want to come in, maybe they can't. So let me just do that. Hey, Rosie, how are you? I'm just sending out the link real quick. It's a last minute. I'm only going to be on for a few minutes because this is kind of like, I don't know, part one, I guess. Part one. So, yeah, I've been doing, and I don't think I got everybody, but I sent it out. I sent it out to a few people. So you guys, I'm having trouble with my camera, so I had to just go live right through YouTube. That's fine. Hi, bestie girl. So Rosie, Becky, girls in chat, I hope you guys are doing great. So have you guys tried encaustic art? Have you wanted to try it? I had first heard about it through Rosemary Morris, a while ago, when she was doing, Rosemary was doing kits, but I think she was doing covers, like journal covers with encaustic art. And I really didn't know much about it, but I was curious. And then Nellie, I don't know if you guys, whoever knows Nellie is another artist, and she had mentioned encaustic, and I was like, well, that's something I really do want to research a little bit more. So you know what? I totally did. I researched it. I did my homework on it. And I think I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So for encaustic, so have you guys done it before? Are you guys interested? What I'm going to just do is I'm going to give you kind of like the rundown. So anyone that wants to replay this, I'm going to come back on later tonight and we're going to really do it. But I just kind of wanted to get set up so that we could talk about the supplies, because I think people sometimes aren't aware of like all the supplies that you really need to do it. And so even if you don't have the supplies and you just kind of want to like, okay, I'm going to watch it and see how it goes, and then maybe, maybe I'll do it, right? Okay, so Encaustic Art, the two basic components that you really need are a beeswax of some sort or a soy wax. The difference between the beeswax and the soy wax is a bit softer, as the beeswax is more pure. You can use either. But the combination of soy wax, and this is a great brand to go for, the R&F brand, soy wax or beeswax, okay, as well as the Damar resin. So you need these two components to actually make your mixture right over here of encaustic wax. Let me just move this over. Never have done it, but it sounds interesting. It does, right, Rosie? It sounds really cool. So, so you need these two components, whether it is the and I'm just going to, I mean, there's probably others out there, but I'm going with the R&F brand. I've heard good things about it. So you need a soy wax or a beeswax, preferably beeswax, but soy wax works just as fine. You just may have to add Damar resin. Okay, so this is just the wax. Now, the Damar resin is what is the hardener, is what actually cures everything together. So it's actually a natural tree resin from Asia that's extracted from the trees in Asia. There's no harm to the trees when it's being extracted. And these are like crystals, and it's a resin. It can be very sticky. And so in my little mixture right here, you can see the resin crystals. Okay, that's the Damar. And then this is the soy. Okay, so I'm just kind of mixing it up, and I've got it on one of these little candle or coffee warmers, and that'll just warm it up just fine. And I'm just mixing it, and I'm just going to let it sit on there because it's not going to get too hot. People do. Yeah, that sounds great. People do use open Bunsen burners, open flames. Some people prefer that. I am not going to get that daring, so I prefer a heating element like this. And then the other thing that you're going to need is either, again, another open flame torch or your heat gun. Again, I'm going with my heat gun because I don't want to do the open flame. I don't feel comfortable with that. Either will work. So you can either use your heat gun and like a coffee heating element or a candle heating element, or you can go open flame. They both give a little bit different effects. I think the actual fire, the actual open flame just gives a quicker effect, but I think in reality, it's all just fine to use either. Okay, so the things that you need your heater, you need your heating tool, right? Just an old cup. I just took an old coffee cup, and I have like a wood little thing in there that I'm mixing with it. Your Damar resin and your wax, whether it's beeswax or whether it's soy, right? Now, the other thing is, hey, yes, you can. Hey, Shauna girl, you can use a hot plate. Thank you, Shauna, for bringing that up. So you can use a hot plate. I've actually seen, depending on how far you're going to go into it, you can use a griddle, like an old griddle, and have that set up and have your pots all set up on the griddle and heat them. Because this is a very basic way of doing it. There are more extensive ways where you can actually buy the wax sticks. They've already been cured. They've already been set with the colors, and then you can just heat those. I'm going the basic route right now, and I'm just going to use my own paint and that kind of stuff. And so if you were going to melt multiple colors, then a hot plate or a griddle would be a great situation for that, right? For us right now, we're going to just get started with the basics. And the other thing I want to talk about was the paint. So I did a lot of research on the paint, and the oil medium is the way to go. The oil reacts the best with the wax. If you were to use anything other, such as a watercolor or acrylic, you can use them, but then you have to worry about that separation of the water in the paint. Okay. So with this, you don't have to worry about that. So that's why I chose to start with the oil paints. Now this is everything can be, fairly inexpensive to start. I can probably give some prices. The oil paints, if you were to go to Hobby Lobby, they're like $6 for like a basic set for $6, which I think is a great price. I can get you the prices on these things. This was $2 at a thrift store. This is an old coffee cup. I did buy, this was a set. This little thing up here, my little wood thing. And then all of these tools came in a set for like $8. But I really wanted some specific ones out of it. So like, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to use because I really wanted these pieces. These are the pieces that I really wanted. You could also go really basic and use oil pastels. Yes, you totally can. An oil-based pastel. Yes, absolutely. There's so many things that you can do. So I thought we would start really basic and go with oil colors, oil paints. Now, that's not to say that I did not bring like an army of mediums and different things that we can throw at it. I think it's going to be super fun to see what we can get for a result. But it is important. Any oil paints, Rosie. So the best thing to get is something that is not water reactive, not water based. So an oil paint, an oil pastel, that is going to be something that would be the best thing to get. And like I said, it's fairly inexpensive. Sometimes you can even find that at thrift stores. Hi, Nikki. How are you? So you need, okay, that. Okay, so then we need some tools. We've got our tools because we're going to do some fun stuff with that. Okay, so you can use pan pastels too. That's right, Shauna. Pan pastels work as well. There's a lot of different elements. I'll probably be back around 7 or 8 tonight. I have to go over to do some dinner and stuff with my parents tonight. And then I'll be back. But I wanted to at least like go over just some of the basics with you girls in case anyone wanted to gather up. Maybe they've had stuff. Maybe you guys have had stuff and you're like, oh, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll try it tonight if you want to try it, So I figured let me give the girls an option if they want to come back later and try it. And that way, this way, they have all their supplies ready. Yes, cheap makeup works great too. Your pigments from Finnabar, your powdered pigments will work. There's a lot of things I brought out. But I'd like to just start with the oils and just see whether it's an oil pastel that you have or some sort of an oil. If you don't have that, that's okay. Grab what you have. We'll work with what you have. Okay. The other thing is choosing your substrate is important. You want to choose something that is solid. You don't want to choose a canvas because the canvas can warp, and then whatever you have done on your substrate will start to peel off. It'll warp. It won't be a good situation. So from all the research I've done, a hard, firm substrate is the best substrate you can get. So that's what we were using here. We're using just some good solid wood. And so what I will do on this one, because of the way it's shaped, I will mask off the edges because it can get messy. So I'm going to mask off the edges before I start tonight, okay? So if you have something like this, you may want to do that as well. I picked up some used encaustic supplies from next tape, so I want to learn how to do it. Okay, well, Nikki, come back tonight. Get all your goodies. Rewatch from the beginning of this. Get all your goodies tonight, and then get ready about 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm thinking, my Eastern time here, and I'll be back on. And then what else did I want to talk about? Any questions so far on what you need? Any basic questions on what you're going to need? You're going to need a paintbrush. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Like I said, Rosemary Morris was the first one that I had heard was doing it. And I thought it was really cool, but I wasn't really sure about it. It was like really intimidating. I was like, I don't know about that at all. And then Nellie had said something and I was like, okay, I really need to research this. And sure enough, I did. I researched it, you guys. I think I have a good amount of information to give you. And we can just kind of help each other along the way. You can grab all sorts of stuff. You can grab all sorts of stuff to add to this. So as far as I took out, for instance, this is a cigar box. And I had already done this a few days back. And I had just started collaging on it with some Dina Wakley. And I love it. And so I may use this surface because it is a nice hard surface to go ahead and work on as well. So tissue paper is a great thing to use. You can also, let's see what else we have in here. We're going to throw a lot of stuff at this tonight. So I did take out some more tissue paper. I took out some more rice paper. I took out some colored burlap. It's a very loose weave burlap because you could do techniques with burlap, with fabric, hence the fabric. We have different kinds of fabric. We have different kinds of lace and doilies. I think this actually is Rosie's pack for one of these. It's Rosie's pack. Yep. So I even took out the doilies. I took out all of that because I kind of want to do something with that. Let's see what else do we have. I want to show you kind of the things that I took out and thought would be very useful. We even have some of these from our slow stitch kit. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about your base. Okay, so there is, if you have vellum photos, you can use those in case. Yes, you can. Hi, Tina T. You can use vellum. And so, oh, was that coming out of fruit? Okay, so you can use vellum. You can use vellum. What happens a lot of times, say you are using say you have a picture that you love and it's a fairly thin picture, maybe a copied picture, and you get it on there. And as you're waxing it, it'll actually make it into almost a vellum. That's the same thing a lot of times with the fabrics as well. So you can start basically right on the board itself with the first layer of encaustic. There is an encaustic gesso. Now, I did not purchase that because I want to say it was almost $30 for it. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. But I did research it a little bit further. And things like chalk paints were okay as well. So here we go. I have taken out some of my Hobby Lobby finds as well as some of my little country store finds. I have taken out, now I need to read these because I haven't gotten a chance to read them yet. Let me show you what I took out. Okay, this one's Deco Art American Decor Chalky Finish, but it says chalky acrylic, so I really need to read the back. This one says chalk, but it also has acrylic in it as well. And acrylic can separate with the water content, so I need to research those. Okay, so there's those. They're chalk finishes. Now this one is Dixie Belle, and it's a chalk mineral paint. Dixie Belle might be my way to go, and this is a local company. Let me see what the ingredients are. I need like a magnifying glass. Is it in English? I think. Hold on. it doesn't give me the directions. Not the directions, the ingredients. All right. I'm going to hold this up and see if any of my ladies, as soon as I get it to focus, can read that for me in that language and tell me if it says anything about a water content. Because there's no English side. So not under the directions or instructions, but further down, the third one. Does it say anything about a water content? Can anyone tell? So I might just give this one a try. This one's one of my favorite ones, the Dixie Belle Lime Chalk Mineral Paint. Excuse me. You don't have to use a base, a gesso, but I figured we would try one. And like I said, I don't have the actual encaustic one, but if we use a chalk one, it might give us the same effects. So, any questions before we get going? Now, this is just the basics. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of goodies that I also took out to play with, as well as all the linens, the fabric, the tissue, the paints. It says use a damp brush and dip into your paint. Okay, thanks, Rosie. We're going to just give it a try and see what we come up with. We may try it without it. We may try it with it. Any questions on anything that you guys need to get set up or that you're questioning about before we go ahead and close out before we head back in tonight? Thanks, Rosie. I appreciate that. Tina T. Liz said that you are looking to do that, so I'm so happy that you're here. We're going to be back tonight, probably around 7 or 8 Eastern time. I haven't been able to get a hold of Liz today, but I know she doesn't have her goodies yet, but she just wanted to do the chat. So she'll, I'm sure she'll pop in later. But I did a lot of research and I watched a lot of different videos and I read a lot of articles to educate myself because I figured, you know what, that's the only way I'm going to learn to do this if I just take the initiative. So that's what I'm doing, girls. Any questions? Now, if you don't have, say, the tools, around 7 or 8, Tina, I'm thinking around 7 or 8. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, between 7 and 8. Yeah. And I'll put on the reminder and I can send it on out to you guys as well. If you don't have the tools, just makeshift what you have. If you have play, and play. Exactly. And that's the Rosemary. There's my girl. So I was just telling the girls, Rosemary, I'm like, Rosemary was the first one I had heard about encaustic was it a while ago? Was it years ago, Rosemary? And I have been researching because there was another girl that said something about it. And I said, I got to learn how to do this. I need to do this because I was so interested in it. And so I've been building up my supply stash and I am like ready to go. So I have researched up the yin yang. I am like, I hope I can answer everyone's questions tonight. And I hope I can lead everyone in this. Like I said, it's 101 and we are going to throw everything at it that we can throw at it. And maybe we'll even try some other fun stuff. I think people get confused with the wax because they're like, and I did too, right? Because you're like, well, it's encaustic wax. What is that? It's just wax going over a board. But it's not just that. It's the Damar resin that holds everything together. So it's cool. It's cool. And it's something that I've been wanting to for so long. So we are just going to do it. But yeah, I gave you credit, Rosemary. I said Rosemary was the first girl that I heard that was doing it. And yeah, she says, glad you're giving it a try. I'm excited, Rosemary. I think the girls are too. Rosemary, maybe you can come back tonight. I don't know if you have time, but we're going to come back around 7 or 8. This is just the setup. I just wanted to set up with the girls. So we're going to come back around 7 or 8. And if you could come in and answer some questions too, that would be wonderful. We'd love that. Oh, and Rosemary I've been watching, I usually watch her lives. Rosemary does lives. If you're not familiar with Rosemary Moore, she does lives. And oh, she's live tonight. Okay, so she's live tonight, guys. And she's working right now on the African caboodle. And so I purchased one. I'm super excited. And I'm always so inspired. So I'll listen to her at night while I'm cleaning. And I'm always so inspired on new projects and what to do. So I purchased a kit last night. So I send you with all good wishes to go over to Rosemary's and learn some techniques and get some kits. And it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Tina. J-Mac, hi. Saw Encaustic got my attention. I know, right? So exciting. So yeah, so Rosemary, you'll be doing yours, but that's okay. We'll probably come back again, and then maybe you can come on and help us as well. So that'd be great. We always love to have people that have done things in the past and that can guide us as well. I did a lot of research, so I'm hoping I can answer everyone's questions. And if I can't, I will find the answer. I will find the answer. Any questions before we just close up for right now for the setup? If you don't have certain things, thanks, Rosemary. If you don't have certain things, you guys just go ahead and you makeshift with what you have, okay? And we're going to make that work. Rosemary rocks all kinds of stuff. So creative. Glad you were doing this. Rosemary does. I've been watching, well, I knew Susan for a long time. When I first started YouTube, Susan and Betty, they were so great. And then I found Rosemary through Susan and Betty. And a lot of times I just watch silently, like I said, because nighttime is my cleaning time. So I just listen and I get inspired. It's wonderful. Okay, girls. So if there's no other questions, then go right ahead. We're going to just hit this. We're going to hit end. And like I said, look for the notification. I will send it in chat as well. And we're going to get started tonight, you guys. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. Okay. If you have questions, you can always message me on Messenger. I'll be out, but I can answer them for you. Okay. Thanks, Rosemary. Okay. Bye, girls. I'm going to see you tonight around 7, between 7 and 8. And we will get started. See you in a little bit, girls. Get your supply.